Hey, it's Augie here. I got a real quick question for you. Have you ever stood in front of the fridge and stared at all the food that's in there and still said to yourself, I don't know what to eat? Well, that's what picking a YouTube niche kind of feels like sometimes for a lot of creators. Everyone always says you got to niche down, you got to pick your niche before you get started, and then you go and sit there for hours trying to figure out, well, what is my niche? What kind of video should I make? And I'm going to make this super simple for you. Instead of standing and trying to pick something to eat in front of the fridge, we're not going to guess what we want to eat. We're just going to test it out. We're going to take a little bit of that, take a little bit of this, and then boom, whatever tastes the best, that is what we're going to go ahead and make a big plate of, and that is what we're going to eat. And instead of like picking a niche, why don't you try to pick like 3 buckets, like 3 kind of content pillars inside of like an overarching industry. And if you have 3 kind of content pillars or 3 buckets, then there's a million different kinds of topics that you could fit inside those 3 different buckets and start testing out, right? From this bucket, now this bucket, now this bucket, now this bucket. You know, maybe I'm doing a little bit of story time. Now I'm doing a little bit of a tutorial. Now I'm doing a little bit of whatever. And in time, you'll see kind of what format and what topics do the best for you. So here's the plan. You can go ahead and run like a 10 video test. Think of it kind of like a taste test. Think of it like 10 different flavors of ice cream. So that would be like your 1 bucket, and you got chocolate in there, you got vanilla, you got strawberry, you got all these different kinds in there. And that's a bucket that you can go ahead and start testing. And when I talk about testing, yes, I'm talking about different kinds of topics, but also formats, you know, and you're sharing your screen and you're talking about something. Maybe another one, you're in front of a whiteboard and you're writing on a whiteboard. Maybe the next one, you got an iPad, you're writing on an iPad, or you're telling a story about a personal experience. And then the next one, you're doing more of like a vlog, or, you know, you got the camera out and you're walking around, you're outside. These are the different kinds of ice creams. And then what I would recommend for the packaging is you keep the packaging pretty similar, because you kind of only want to like test one thing at a time. And you're testing kind of the format right now. You're testing, you know, what your audience responds to format wise. You don't want the thumbnails to kind of throw it off. They should all be kind of the same style and kind of look similar. So the goal is to create 10 videos to test. So you can grab a piece of paper and a pen and open up a simple note. And at the top, you're going to write what your content pillar is. Let's keep using like productivity as an example, because I'm going to talk a little bit about 𝐈𝐧𝐬𝐭𝐚𝐦 here in a second. You know, so maybe productivity might be my lazy morning routine that still works for me. Okay, there's a topic. The note app I use every day. There's another topic. This 3-minute trick that beats procrastination. All right, now you kind of got different types of ice cream ready to go. Then just take those topics, kind of come up with a title that's benefit driven, that talks about some sort of benefit from watching that video. And then you got to pick an angle. What kind of angle are you going to take on that topic? What kind of stuff are you going to talk about in that video? And then go ahead and hit record and film a few of those videos. Of course, there's a lot of other steps, because creating YouTube content isn't really that easy. But once you kind of get them edited and get them published, you want to schedule those out. I would recommend publishing maybe like 3 a week. And in time, what you're going to see is you're going to get to see the YouTube analytics inside YouTube Studio. So from there, you're going to go ahead and look at, okay, which ones are getting a high click-through rate and which ones are getting a high average view duration. And remember, the reason we're doing this is because we're trying to see what video our audience responds to the most and which one that the algorithm kind of pushes out the most. A good example is 𝐈𝐧𝐬𝐭𝐚𝐦. I mean, when he started publishing, he wasn't a productivity expert. That is his YouTube channel now. But when he first started, he was just kind of producing stuff about, you know, how to take tests, you know, stuff about being a doctor, and then eventually a couple productivity videos as well. And those are the ones that really started getting views. And so in his own words, he said he did not pick his niche. The audience told him. The audience said, hey, we like this kind of content from you. And so he said, great. All right, I'm going to start creating productivity content. And this is exactly what I'm recommending that you do if you're just starting out. Because YouTube does not care so much about you. It cares about the audience and how the audience responds to your content. And of course, with creating videos, you want to create videos that keep viewers watching for as long as possible. So we're viewers, we're humans. What do humans like? Humans like stories. If you tell us a good story, it'll normally keep a human watching. So when it comes to scripting your videos, you kind of want to start off with a hook that kind of talks about a problem. For example, you know, hey, I used to hit the snooze button on my alarm 5 times every single morning. This really hurt my productivity and was one of the reasons I was never able to publish YouTube videos consistently. So what I did is I came up with this new idea to put my phone in the bathroom. The very first time I did it was in the winter and I had left my bathroom window open. So I got up, I walked into the bathroom to turn off my alarm, and it was cold. It was almost like I had taken an ice bath and, well, I was wide awake. So you kind of get the idea that the stories will help you keep viewers watching and will make your videos just more interesting. So create a hook that talks about a problem and then go into a story that shows how you solve that problem. And a lot of times too, in the beginning of your videos, you can talk about the payoff. Like, hey, if you watch this video, here's what you're actually gonna get. A common thing that you hear is by the end of this video, you're gonna be able to X, Y, and Z. And a lot of times that's enough to keep viewers watching and that are interested in learning whatever you're talking about. Okay, so back to this idea of creating 10 videos and then seeing, which ones do well. Once you complete 10 in that first content pillar, you can move on to the next one. So your next content pillar can be something different. Now you're talking about pizza, right? So now you got 10 different types of pizza. We're talking about the food testing analogy again, and you can create all different topics kind of along the same line there and with different formats and just see which ones people react to. And then we'll just repeat that same process one more time. And by the end of this, you're gonna have 30 videos that hopefully did not take that much time for you to create each and every one because you didn't overthink it, right? You had the video topic database, you went and just grabbed them from these different content pillars, you wrote a quick hook, hit record, told a quick story, and then hit publish and got these videos up live. And with 30 videos, and let's say just a month after that, just watching and looking at the data, opening up your YouTube studio, see, which ones are actually getting views and which ones are getting click-through rate and average view duration, you can learn from that. You can go and look, say, oh, what hook did I use here? And you can learn from what hook you used. You can see, oh, did I tell a story here? What did the thumbnail look like? What's the topic? And once you find a format and topic that works well in a content pillar, then you just double down on that. Then you just attack that. You keep going with that. You go boom, boom, boom. And in time, hopefully, you'll start to see some growth on your channel. And that's really all you're going for, especially when you first start out, is you just want to see it trending up. You just want to see improvements. You just want to see more views. If you're lucky, you get that virality and one video pops and goes super viral and you get a bunch of subscribers. But like I told you earlier, this is a 15-year play. Now, hopefully if you are a student of the game and learn, it doesn't take you 15 years, but it's not going to happen overnight. But the thing about it is you need to publish consistently and you need to pay attention to the data. All right, you guys, I hope you guys liked that video. If you did, then please go ahead and check out another one of my videos about content creation. That's exactly what I like to talk about here on this channel. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.